Trapped by stupid. Am I the only one that feels trapped by human ignorance? Ever since the end of February 2020, when that global pandemic started, I kinda hoped people would band together, do the right thing, and we could have all ridden out a viral epidemic in about 6 to 8 weeks. But no, people ignored medical science, made it a political issue, worried about loss of income, freedom, etc., etc., etc. So, about a year on, for those people who worried about money, who would have lost about a month and a half of income, you ended up losing a year's worth. For those who ignored medical science, didn't wear a mask, and kept spreading germs, dragging out the pandemic, inadvertently killing people, some I knew, seriously, go die. You're a useless husk of brain-damaged misinformation, and your existence is just hurting collective society. And, for those who made the virus a political issue, well, you're just fucking stupid. Your ignorance and astounding ability to believe misinformation has literally killed people, businesses, and any hope I had that people could collectively get better as a species. Alright? It's just not gonna happen. You're all too selfish. You're all too self-righteous. And way too uninformed. Alarmingly so. You've all become immovable stones of ignorance with the intelligence to match. Now, unfortunately, for any intelligent person who took precautions, made adjustments for the greater good, and realized the gravity of the situation when this all started, they are now looking out their window a year on in utter astonishment at the sheer stupidity of humanity, fearful to even step foot outside. Smart people have now become the survivors of a literal mental zombie outbreak. We're all just trying to get where we need to go without getting bit, hoping that a viable vaccine is given to the public to stop the outbreak. And we hope this, not so that these people are saved. It's so we don't die. Because smart people, much like survivors in a zombie apocalypse, are hopelessly outnumbered by imbeciles shambling through the streets of shuttered businesses, coughing on everything, slowly casting their gaze upon folks taking precautions, attempting to approach them, muttering some incoherent political rhetoric. Alternative news! Yeah. The morons have breached containment, and all the intelligent people can do is wall themselves up in hopes it'll all blow over. Hoping for a cure. Hoping that supply crate arrives safely so we can all hold out maybe one more month before we all just snap. Folks, you made this a lot worse than it needed to be. It could have been over already. 2 months. Tops. But no. And here's a piece of insightful information to fellow beings with brains. Don't go ripping those masks off just yet because there's a vaccine. Because, even if the vaccine is 100% effective with 0 side effects, you'll still have a group of people who refuse to take it, and this will just continue to go on for years. I'd like to appeal to the intelligence of humanity, but realize there isn't much left out there. So, for those with functioning brain cells, stay safe, because you're pretty much the only humans I give a crap about. For everyone else who thinks this is me taking a political side, I'm taking the side of science. If you want to be on the other side of that, fine. I'm taking a side. Has nothing to do with politics, has nothing to do with religion. I don't give a shit about any of that. Science is logic. And yes, there is room for error, but not as much as an uninformed layman, okay? I would rather listen to a more informed and more educated medical expert than somebody sitting on their front porch, waving a flag back and forth, yelling about freedoms and rights. This isn't about that. It never was. Stop pretending it is. If you want to give your life meaning, allow others to live it, okay? Just put on a mask. Wait it out. 2 months. Oh yeah, and for everyone else who's gonna be like, well, Foamy, I suppose you've stayed inside and wore a mask this whole time too. Yeah, I did. Since March 5th, 2020. Okay? I have been in the house for that long. Because of you. So, go fuck yourself. Is it so difficult to wear a mask? But I can't breathe. Well, it gets a lot harder once you get a little virus that shuts down your lungs and your kidneys and you're dead. Breathing is hard when you're not alive. Trust me, I've seen it. It's not a good time. You guys have literally killed people, okay? You're all murderers in my book. And yes, I still use books.